detail. Dive into the madness with me as we face impossible choices in Slay the Princess.
Whatever horrors you may find in these dark places, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Okay? Chapter 1: The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Explore. End of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget this, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get a reward or something for doing this? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to go off off a monarch. Viva la Revolution. Silently continue or turn around and leave. I also turn on auto so I don't have to click. Killing a princess seems kind of bad, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Yeah, why is the narrator out here hating on a seamstress? The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason... Oh, it's just the other... Okay.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
What? Can't someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Can you tell me what my prize is for doing a good job? Or can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Dude, it better be a PlayStation 5.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Better get discounts on healthcare. Ooh, oh wait, that's too meta.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade or into the basement. You know what? I'm not here to slay the princess.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Hi, just checking in on you. I'm here to save you. Lie, but I'm here to save you. Hey, I think I'm here to slay you. Continue down the stairs. Yo, what's up, Beard? Who carved cake on this blade? Dude, I don't think this is an actual dagger for slaying. I think this is a cake cutter. Like, it has the word cake carved into it. You sure this is the right one? Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hold on, let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
What's your name? I don't know anything about you. For all I know is you could be locked down here for a reason. If I'm the first person you've seen or are, what have you been eating or drinking? I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. Holy crap, there's a lot of different choices. I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. But I don't actually think you're dangerous, but I wanted to see for myself. I'm not sure what to believe. I'm starting to think it's true. I'm not sure what I believe.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
No, which is why I don't think you're actually dangerous.
Sooner or later, you'll learn to trust me. Hopefully it won't be too late when you finally come around.
Thank you for believing me. Now, can you help me get out of here?
We still have a few more questions before we leave.
There's going to be plenty of time to chat after I'm free, but okay. What do you want to know?
What's your name?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Interesting. Okay. So if I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Princess, waiting for her Mario. I can't believe they've been keeping you down here like this and getting you out of these chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas? I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key is lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Explorer, hey, let me out of here. Explorer, try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
What the fuck, man? Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door, I guess?
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Wow, slay the princess and then warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Wait, is she
She
got...
plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ!
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
What?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Hold on.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
What the fuck is this game, man? So, what was going on with my arm is that the narrator was taking over. Somehow, the narrator took over my body and was trying to slay the princess. But I was fighting back and warned her, and then she ended up killing me to stop it. Yeah, that is one way to stop it, but like, you know, it's interesting though. Okay. I'm getting this terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this already happened? Okay, no. So I think that's what our character is. Trigon. I think we're like a bird of some kind. I don't think we're an actual like human or anything. And because I think we're a bird that has like scales. And like the long claws, everything. Because as you can see, like on the mouse as well, it's my hand. So I think we're a bird person of some kind. So, but I died. What am I doing here? Oh, you bastard! You're in it. You're in it for now. I'm wise to your tricks. Proceed or turn around and leave. Yeah, or a lizard. Your is right, or a lizard. Could be something. But I died. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky.
Voice of the smitten.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
I don't know. I don't know why we have more voices now. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this did really happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. You were the one who did us in, villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything just like I told you she would? She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
I'm going with him. I'm going to find a way to save her from the Kamen. Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How is that supposed to end the world? Who locked her in the basement?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world. Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Who locked her in the basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me? You're being so cagey. Where aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice. Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends, but I'm a professional. I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
That's why I'm so confused. It does sound like the narrator is hiding things. Yep.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
You know what? Why don't I just leave? Huh? Why don't...
Are you running away? What are you doing? We have to save her. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Fine.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient.
What the fuck?
Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. That's great to hear. As long as you bring that fiery attitude to princess slaying, I think this will all resolve splendidly. Oh, it's going to resolve splendidly, all right.
Yeah, I think the narrator is doing something.
The interior of the cabin
Ooh.
is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
But there's a mirror as well. Yeah, you didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here. In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Why would you lie about that? What's the point? I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am. It doesn't matter. Remain silent. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Interesting. This whole cabin is different than the last time.
Very different. Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Yeah, I'd say we are like excuse me. I'd say we are like a bird of some kind. I'm taking the blade, but I'm not going to kill the princess.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies. Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us again. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back? I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's what we were telling you!
That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Okay. You killed me last time. It hurt a lot. Why did you do that? I'm not gonna say that. Do I have to cut you out again? I really didn't care for it last time. What happened after I died? I have to ask, did you end the world after you killed me back there? I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me to kill you took over my body, and it was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
That's it? Part 2, Survive the Bird Night, coming soon. But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I don't want the world to end. I have no feelings one way or the other about the world ending. Honestly, the world sucks. People are a plague, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them. Remain silent.
At least you're being honest. I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a nihilist. The princess shifts in uncomfortable confusion.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for long. If she doesn't care, then clearly she didn't end the world. It would take a great desire for evil to do something so inconceivable, and our dearest has not an ounce of cruelty within her. All is well, and it's high time we rescued our beloved.
Yo, Swift, what is up, dude? Welcome on in. Yes, a semi-horror game. Rescue the princess.
Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her out with ease. No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature, or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do? I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward and free our beloved from her bindings. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it, but I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
I agree with Tricon. Why was that so easy? Why did we have to cut her wrist off the first time? First off, she bit her wrist and tried to rip it off. She was the one that started it first, and then we just decided to cut her wrist off to set her free. What do you want to do? We leave and then we have our whole lives to figure out what we want to do next. You know what? I said from the beginning that I'm taking the blade, which I have the blade in my hand, as you can see on the cursor, but we are leaving. I'm not slaying the princess. So we are leaving. That's what I said we'll do.
That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Do you think you can open it? I think we could open it if we tried together. I think I got this. Open the door by yourself. I think we could open it if we tried together.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
All we need to be is happy with each other. What if we just stayed here and built a life together? Stop with these interruptions. I've made up my mind we're leaving. Or just ignore them. Ugh. Interesting. Also, we have ads in like 20 seconds, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait. So those who are in ads won't miss anything. So what do you guys think of the story so far? Won't miss. It's crazy. It's confusing and interesting. It is very interesting. I will say that. It is a very interesting story so far. Dude, food sounds so good right now. Like, my stomach is starving. It's telling me it's, like, growling and everything. Alright, ads have started. We got a shop soon. Yes. Interesting. Do you have Twitch Turbo? If you have Twitch Turbo, then you won't get ads. Oh, it's random? Oh, interesting. Alright, are we all back? Are we all back from ads? Yeah, okay. All we need to be happy is each other. What if we stayed here and built a life together? Stop with these interruptions. I've already made up my mind. We're leaving. Just ignore them. Go with the first one.
What a romantic suggestion. You're right. We don't need the world. All we need is each other. That's exactly what I just suggested. Was it not romantic when I suggested it? Did you suggest that? I wasn't listening. You answered me.
But the door's right there. We can just leave.
Wait. Why would she say that? Was she not wooed by our proclamation of love? We not enough for her? She's not wooed by you because staying here and building a life together isn't a solution. It isn't anything. It's a non-answer. It can't be done.
Your nonchalance about the fate of the world has me a bit worried. That's why I want to stay here. Trust me, it'll be better for us. If we stay here, we could be happy here. We just have to want it. You're right. We're leaving. You know what? Let's do it. We're leaving.
Okay. That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
What the? But you don't get a chance to make that jacket. Something has taken her away and left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how'd we even go about looking for her. The narrator is gone. I think we're supposed to look at the mirror.
He is. Does that mean the world ended? A villain vanquished? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I can't believe she was taken away from us. The nerve.
Last thing is approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you? The gifts of the fragile vessel. Is this the end of the world? Let her out of there. Do you know the narrator? Holy crap. Yo! Neko? What is up, dude? Welcome on in. Looks like you all are enjoying the princess game. Yes, this is very, very interesting. It is a very interesting game. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Solitary lights? What do you mean? What do you think I am? I don't know what I am. I'm a person. I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
I think Tricon just called it. Tricon said chances are that she requires knowing more about herself, so we are not done. And she just said that should bring me more perspectives. So I think we need to keep going constantly to ending points. Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you? How much will I forget? How many more pieces of you do I have to find? And what if I don't let you do this to me? I was sent to slay the princess and stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do to me? Okay, make me forget. How many more pieces?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, what is that going to do for me?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being somatic. What are you trying to do? What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I'm not going back. Or, okay, make me forget. Okay. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die.